All right, all right. And now we're live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, based on where you are in the world. I am Francesco Loconte, customer support specialist, and welcome to a new webinar here at Lodgify in collaboration with Breezeway. Today we have a very interesting topic about the best practices for flawless property operations. And we have Matt and Aga that I'm in company with that will help talk about this topic. Matthew Turner is a marketplace specialist here at Lodgify and will help me present Lodgify at the non-users, so the users of Breezeway, everyone that doesn't know about Lodgify. And then we also have Aga Sudek, that is a sales manager international at Breezeway, and she has prepared great notions on the main topic today. So I will give the word to her later. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, first of all. And I will give you the chance to introduce yourself in a little bit. Before, first of all, I wanted to just run a little housekeeping for the webinar. Because we cannot hear you, but we can see the chat. So for any questions that you might have, feel free to drop them, and then we will respond at the end of the webinar. We have a Q&A session. For any questions that maybe we will not be able to respond, we will respond to the email that we will send tomorrow with a recording of this webinar that you can always find also on the YouTube channel. So from tomorrow on. If you cannot hear us, please try to unmute the speaker and turn up the audio, because the simple steps might be what you need to do to hear us again. And the webinar structure will be simply now. In a moment, I will give the word to Aga to introduce herself and talk a little bit about briefly about Breezeway. Then Matt will present Lodgify, and when we get into the main topic of the day with the best practices to manage the operations, talking about the automations and all tips and tricks that we have. And then we will show how to integrate Lodgify and Breezeway, so that for the interested people, you will know how to simply do this. And finally, as I was saying before, we have the Q&A session. So we plan to do this webinar of like 45 minutes or like 1 hour. Let's see how it goes. All right. So, Aga, it's your moment now. If you want to introduce yourself.
Lovely. Thank you, Francesco. And hi, hello, everyone. My name is Aga Sudek, and I oversee the Sales International team here at Breezeway. Maybe a quick background about me. I've been at Breezeway since 2022. Since then, my team and I, we spoke with over 2,000 property management companies internationally. I am very excited today to share, my knowledge that I've learned chatting with really all of you about like how we could help you to streamline your day-to-day operations. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing, amazing, very exciting. All right, then Matt, if you wanna take over.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks so much, Francesco. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. As Francesco mentioned, my name is Matthew, and I work on the marketplace over at Lodgify. Again, thanks for attending. If you weren't able to make it, we'll follow up with an email and a recording of this webinar. Also, a special thanks to Aga and the Breezeway team, as well as Francesco and everyone who helped to make this happen and put this webinar together.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Perfect. So yeah, if you're not familiar with Lodgify, we are an all-in-one vacation rental platform. Our mission is to empower independent hosts and property managers to grow and optimize their business. We have a channel manager where you can connect all of your OTAs, but one of our main features is also a website builder where you can create your own direct booking website, so you can really diversify your distribution channels. If you're interested in speaking with our sales team, doing a demo, or if you have any questions about Lodgify, any features, you can also scan the QR code on this page. We'll reach out to you and schedule something for you. So as I mentioned, I work on the marketplace in Lodgify. We are dedicated to finding software partners in the industry to help all of our customers automate and optimize their businesses. You can look on the lodgify.com page to see who all of our partners are. Within the product as well, you can visit the marketplace page where you can find all different types of apps we're partnered with and connect them. You'll also see Breezeway on there. You can read more on them if you have any questions. We also have many different types of applications, such as dynamic pricing, guidebooks, accounting, web design services, everything that you're kind of looking for. If we don't have what you're looking for, then there's also a button on this page where you can submit a request, which will go directly to the marketplace team. A lot of our apps that we add to the marketplace are really heavily weighted on requests for our users, so we really take that into consideration. And that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Matt. All right. Now we'll stop sharing the screen so that I will give Aga the chance to do that, so she can go ahead with the presentation.
Right. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so you already okay, we are here. Great. So Breezeway. Again, me will be probably listening to me for another 20 minutes. I would love to keep it as interactive as we can. I know we cannot have a direct conversation, but feel free to shoot your thought in the chat. I will be asking some questions throughout this webinar, so really feel free to keep it interactive. This is also for your opportunity to learn from me, but also from all of you guys. You are the experts and you're doing this, in your day-to-day. You know this industry very well, and I am excited to share my knowledge with you. So when we talk about Breezeway, what Breezeway even is, and if you've never heard of Breezeway, we are really a property care and operation platform. So we really do everything for you to make sure that your apartments are, of course, clean, ready, safe, prepared for the guest. And we also want to elevate this experience for your guests. So Breezeway does a lot. We will be chatting today mostly about the operations part of the Breezeway. This is our core, where everything was really born. But we also have some additional features that I want to highlight this and mention so you can really know what Breezeway can offer. So the operation, what we will be talking today. We also have our assist product. So this is after our support. We have our own team of trained agents who are dealing with last minute questions of your guests. If maybe you don't have an agent available who is hired by you. We also have our welcome book. So this is a digital welcome book for the guests. And it's all about this guest experience, right? So to delight your guests before they even arrive to your apartment. If you want to share some kind of local recommendations, if your apartment is maybe hidden in a small street and you're constantly receiving those inquiries hey, how can I get there? I am here, I cannot see that. You can always put that information in the welcome book, so you can just explain that better to your guests, as well as information such as, hey, where to find an iron. This is such a classic. People are asking, people need to know. You can just put this everything to make sure that this guest communication, conversation with them is just smoother. As well as the guest messaging. We have our own guest messaging, which will really help you to automate all of the messages. So everything when it comes to check-in, check-out, guest satisfaction, questions, everything can be just automated through our messaging. So this is really briefly what we do and what we have available at Breezeway. And a couple of, value points of Breezeway. So when you think about adding tech stack to Lodgify today, you probably need to think of okay, what you are currently looking for. I could expect that if you are on this call, on that webinar, you're probably thinking of how you could optimize your operations. And for everyone, that can really mean something different. Under operations, there fall a lot of things. We will be mostly talking today about your cleaning, your maintenance, and your inspection. So how Breezeway could optimize this part of the business for you. But also wanted to learn a little bit more about like you guys. And typically people who are coming to Breezeway, they will have a lot of goals. A goal could be, for example, to scale your business. A goal could be to streamline, fully automate everything, because maybe this is a business that you have on site and you just wanna have this everything automated. Maybe you wanna save some time because you are handling with ton of manual tasks, spreadsheets, communication with the cleaners constantly on WhatsApp. People are coming to really boost their Google reviews, right? Maybe you're struggling with some bad reviews from cleans apartments that they are not well maintained. They are having lots of issues and troubles. So this everything can be a reason why to think about a solution as Breezeway. And feel free to let me know in a chat if any of you are thinking of like scaling your business this year, if you're planning to like add some more apartments into your portfolio. And let us know in a chat. I will be keeping an eye on a chat, so that would be great. So typically, people are coming to Breezeway and they really try to scale their portfolio. So if you are the case who wants to add and grow your portfolio, I've been working with the companies who are starting with Breezeway at 5 or 10 units, and they will scaling in 1 year up to 30, 35 and more. So this is really depending on like what you are looking for. But when you think of like scaling, you need to make sure that all of the processes, they are set up, because as you scale, the more difficult it's gonna be for you to provide the same services to your guests, the same cleanliness and the same communication with them. We can also see that Breezeway really help 97% of the operators says that the Breezeway helped them standardize all of the operational processes, and of course saving time. So a big piece of Breezeway is that as we allow you to streamline and automate everything, companies on average, they save from 30 to 40 hours on weekly manual scheduling tasks and spreadsheets and communication. With that, let's then jump to automation. And automation is a big piece of this everything. And like how I like to talk about it, it's really what you can streamline and what you can automate. So I always like to start with the scheduling piece. And scheduling, it is a big piece. I'm just going to stop for a second. This guy I'm going to show you later on. But the scheduling is a big piece. Why? Because you have guest check-ins, check-outs, and you need to schedule your tasks. You need to schedule your cleans, you need to schedule inspector. So this is like, no matter if we like it or not, we need to do it because the apartment needs to be clean and needs to be inspected. So the really cool thing about like the Breezeway scheduling and the integration with Lodgify is that we will automatically pull all of the reservations from Lodgify into Breezeway, including guest name, guest surname, all of the detail regarding this reservation. And what we'll do Breezeway for you around those reservations, we would be creating and coordinating automated tasks. So pretty much you can build up any workflow around any reservation. And the workflow, it is like a sequence of the tasks that they are happening around a turnover. And of course, your workflow can be different, check-in versus check-out, depending if you are doing inspections, if you're doing any kind of linen drop, maybe you do in-person checklist, so that everything can be automated. A workflow could be also automated around those specific unique items. So imagine that maybe from 10 apartments that you might manage, one has jacuzzi. So whenever the booking is made with this apartment that has jacuzzi, maybe you need to turn on the jacuzzi before. So that everything can be done within Breezeway automatically without really having to communicate that with the cleaner. So I always say that, okay, scheduling is a big piece. We want to automate that. So here's where you are saving time. We will be scheduling all of those tasks automatically for you. Cleaners know what they have to do. Inspectors know what they have to do because they would be using also the mobile app. So with the mobile app, what is very important, and like whenever you would be thinking of like adding any kind of product, Breezeway or whatever you would be thinking of like adding, you need to think of like the usability of that. You want to make sure that like your cleaners, they have a tool that they like to use. And one of the things that actually we hear a lot, we are talking right now here like to you guys who are managing apartments, but actually we work with a lot of cleaners, with a lot of cleaning companies. And one of the reasons what they like coming to Breezeway and they are getting their account, it's because Breezeway is so user friendly, and we have checklist included, so they exactly know what they have to do and what they have to, where they have to go. Think that cleaning, it is a very physical job, right? So every apartment is just different and it's unique, and it has their own specific items, and it's really difficult to keep up with everything. And it really doesn't matter if you have in-house cleaners or external cleaners. Of course, if you have those in-house cleaners, they probably know your apartments a little bit better. However, still, if you are using in-house teams, like photo verification, it is a big piece of this everything. So I want to quickly show you how the checklist could look like, and also let me know in a chat section if you are using checklists. And if you do, what kind of checklist do you use? Do you use like any kind of digital checklist? Do you use spreadsheets? Are you asking for pictures from your teams via WhatsApp? I would be really curious to hear about that. And I want to show you how the checklist could look like. So the cool thing when you think about checklists, when you will be building your own checklist for your apartments, make sure that you include everything that is really important. You might have an apartment that have this like specific item, maybe that your owner really care about, and you really need to keep an eye on that, right? Every owner is different and every apartment is different, and we want to make sure that everything that is really important for that apartment is included in that checklist. What I love about this checklist is that you can ask for pictures, but you can also upload the required picture. Required picture, they are essential. If you want to show like how the thing should look like, maybe in a certain way, pillows, right? Maybe final picture of the room. So really whatever you would like to show your teams to really avoid this manual communication, phone calls, and explaining over and over again how the thing should look like. So the checklist is definitely a priority. If you don't use checklist yet, and again, no matter if it's gonna be a digital or not, like think about implementing checklists into your day-to-day, because the more you ensure yourself that the things will be done properly, the less manual later communication with the cleaners and sending them back to your apartment you will have. So my tip number one, it would be for sure to like get yourself a checklist. Start with the checklist and tied it per apartment. A lot of managers, what they will do, they will start with like one regular checklist, which you already do. It's great. Think of like expanding checklist tailored per apartment, because again, every apartment is really different. It's unique, and it's so important to really keep an eye on that and make sure that everything has been checked. Because in the end of the day, you want your guest to check into the apartment that it's published in the same condition as you put it on your website when you're advertising that apartment. So what we have learned till now, that we can schedule the cleans, schedule inspections, maintenance, and every single workflow. That part of the business can be automated. I always say that there are certain parts of the business that you can automate. So why not do that? Definitely scheduling is one of them. Then cleaning checklist, it's another one. Then when we talk about inspection, okay, good question. Like how it could benefit owners with only one property. Absolutely. This is a really good question. And you know what? We work really with any kind of company. We have people who are managing only one unit, and we have people who are managing like several hundreds of units. It's all like what you really care about. If you have an owner who really cares about their apartment, because owners do care, I cannot blame them. This is their apartment that they purchased for themselves, right? And you want to make sure that when they join your program, when they sign up to work with you, that everything that you promise them that you will do for them, you will actually do that. So why owners love Breezeway? It's because Breezeway can automate all of the reports. We can be sending those reports to your owners monthly, weekly, and we can include information of what is going on inside of the apartment. Think about it this way. Everything that you can get a Breezeway for, you can get a report for. So if an owner is really sensitive about their unit and they really want to have a better understanding, that's great. We can definitely do that. And also why an operator should care about that, because very often owners, they don't even know how much work you put into this everything. Very often owners think that you guys only manage those apartments, but like I know how much time and how much work you put into it. So this is really a mutual benefit. He's getting the reports, they really know what is going on inside of the apartment. Open issues, issues, it is a big thing with the apartments. And like if you have an item that it's constantly getting like broken, imagine a boiler. No guest wants to check into the apartment that there is no hot water in it. What does it mean for the owner? It means that there's probably, ton of money that we need to put right now into like repairing this boiler. So an owner wants to understand and wants to know like what kind of issues they are happening with this apartment. Maybe this is something that we should be, not repairing anymore. Maybe we should just replace it. And I hope I answer your question. You let me know. Um, and okay, perfect. So like transitioning into like why we are automating this everything. Again, manual tasks. The whole goal is to cut off the manual task and manual communication with everyone, because you want to add this and spend this extra time putting into anything else. That's why I was also like asking you in the beginning, like what goals do you have? Why would you be optimizing your business? It is important for you to understand, because every single company will really have different goals. From like my experience, lots of operators, they try to always scale their business. If you are thinking of scaling your business, then absolutely you need to think of like optimizing operations, because operation is also it's a very, it's an expensive part of dealing with this business, and having everything within like one place only and managing is just much more cost effective for you. But also for guests, you want to make sure that guests always check in to the clean apartment, but also safe. You want to make sure that you have implemented those safety checks. For those of you who are based, for example, in the UK, smoke alarms, it is a big topic right now. For everyone who is based, maybe let's say Southern Europe, checking on air conditioner filter, so important. You want to make sure that those items, they are working when your guest is coming into the apartment. So those recurring tasks, if you are not doing yet like preventive maintenance, I would be making sure that like you have it organized monthly, bi-weekly, yearly, some kind of task that you are keeping an eye on the condition of all of the elements that you have inside of the apartments. Perfect. And I hope that you enjoyed the checklist. With that, we are jumping into optimizing workflows. So again, owners' expectations. Super important. I've already briefly touched it on the previous slides, but your owners are really are important, and what is going on inside of their apartment, it is important and it matter. So having a system, having a platform that you can have everything within one place will help you with the communication with your guests, with your field staff, but also with the owners. You will be going above and beyond to really accomplish everything that they were asking you for, and you will see benefits from that. Very often, this is really word of mouth. So people will be coming to you because they will know that you are running your business great, and you are also making sure that everything that owner is asking you for has been completed. So this is also how you will be growing your business and how you will be scaling your network within the apartments and within the owners, if you will be keeping your owner satisfied and happy. And then handling all of the maintenance. So again, issues, hopefully you don't deal with ton of issues, but the more you scale your business, the more issues are coming up. It's very important to keep an eye of the issues, and we hear a lot. We hear that people are having Excels, people are having this in WhatsApp. The sooner you set up those processes, and the sooner you will have a place where you can have actually all of the maintenance tickets and requests within one place, will only help you. You will be spending less money on those, and it will be just easier for you in case of any issues also with the guest. What happens very often is that the guests check into the apartment, and they do damages too. And you want to make sure that those damages that they are coming from the guests you can claim them later for that. So one of the things that I like about our checklist is that you can get a report for that, and every single report, it's always date and hour stamped. So imagine if you have a guest who is check-ins and they are complaining about the quality of the cleaning, maybe you can always provide with this report. You can check how the clean was done. And what we find very often is that guests will complain because sometimes they want to get an extra discount from you. So even though the apartment was clean and ready, they will, like, this is the reality. And with that, you're protecting yourself, your cleaners, and your team. But also, like, cleaning probably it's the easiest because it will be not, as expensive for you as if this is an issue and if the guest has damaged something, damaged TV, anything, like everything, you will have date and hour stamped, so you can always have that proof. People are using Breezeway reports later to like claim damages, and it's a money saver for you, because otherwise you will rather need to like let it go because you don't want to get a bad review, right? You don't want to get a bad review, so you will probably try to keep your guest happy. And it will be very difficult for you to show like what actually happened if those pictures will be just on WhatsApp, or a lot of people are actually not even asking for picture. So I would tell you like photo verification for every single thing as much as you can, and implement inspections. So like whether if you will be doing that before the guest checks in or like post checkout, implement those inspections, because only inspections they can actually prevent from those last minute maintenance issues that you would need to handle. And you know what? Sometimes you might have everything set up perfectly and something will still happen, right? Because it's very difficult to prevent really everything. But think of like how you could set up your business to really set up yourself for success and having the less of those issues as possible. And brand standards. Okay, so you probably know how you wanna like look and how you want business to be run. And like brand standards, it's also something that is extremely important. You wanna let your cleaners know how everything should look like inside of the apartment. You wanna get your inspector know. So if they have this kind of program that they can actually see, right? Like, okay, we should have this and that element here. We wanna check an inventory. We want to make sure that every single item is in the right place. Those are your brand standards that you want to meet, and you want to make sure that the guests will notice that. Because guess what? The guests make their decision in the first 30 seconds since they arrive to your apartment. Um, with that, I am transitioning to the guest experience. And again, I will be talking about the experience of the guest when they arrive to your apartment. I don't know if that has ever happened to you, but it was a long time before I even joined Breezeway. I'm actually kind of victim of jumping to the apartment that was not clean. And it was my vacation, 2 weeks vacation. I was super excited about that. 2 weeks time off. I mean, who is even taking right now 2 weeks off? So I was absolutely pumped about that. When I arrived to the apartment, it was just, not clean. And imagine, I spent 2 weeks on that island. And the only thing I remember from this vacation till now is that the apartment was not clean. It absolutely left on me like this horrible taste. So I also want you to think of like, you are the face of like what you are doing. And like, we are really creating this industry together. So like the way how the guests will feel when they arrive to the apartment, this is the moment that they make their decision if they're gonna leave this 5-star review that you are working so hard on, and you have so many people involved into your day-to-day. And you just want to make sure that their stay is amazing, but you also want to make sure that they will be reading this great review for you. Perfect. So yes, and with that, a couple of like additional things of like how you can make your guest happy. So again, what I was kind of mentioning to you in the beginning, the digital welcome books. So like letting your guests know about local recommendations, what they can do in your area, how they can spend their free time, making this as easy for them as possible. What we have learned at Breezeway is that actually guests on vacations, they prefer, to not have that many human interactions. So like the more everything is really digitalized and the more information they have in one place, the easier it is for them, and of course also for you. So what an example that I was giving you, like with an iron, like that's true. Like the more information you can put into like the certain place, in that case the welcome book, to inform your guests like how they should behave inside of the apartment, it's great. But also like safety information. um I'm just like reading the comments. Also the safety. Think about that, the safety thing. It's so important that your guests also feel safe inside of the apartment. So if, in case there's anything that you need to like let them know about, any specific thing that you need to do, you can just put it in there in the welcome book. And the same with like automated messages. So you want to make sure that you don't do those messages really manually. What happens very often is that the companies, they would be setting up maybe like a WhatsApp group, and they would be adding a guest in there, and they will be having another 3 or 4 agents who would be like managing those messages. So like if you're communicating today with like manual messages, it's a great moment of like thinking how you could automate those messages so you can really cut off the manual communication for you. And the last one, it's really surprise and delight, but this is also about you and about your teams. One of the advice that I give to property managers is to really like make your cleaners and the people who are working with you understand how the job that they are doing is actually important, because the cleanliness, it is the first impression that the guests have when they arrive to your apartment. And this is something that is, you can just not forget it. So like the more you can really give them like this experience, the better they will remember you. And like what you want kind of out of this everything, you want the guests to go back to their place, from their vacation, that you want them to leave this 5-star review, and you want to be recommended. You want the guest to say to another company like, I had this amazing and delightful stay at this and that property. So always think about that, like the guest experience that you are creating. And a couple of like good advices is for sure, like you could set up your amenities. This is something that companies are doing every time more often. So maybe like a basket with some cool amenities for the guests, depending on like where you are based. But like if you are based like, like us here in Spain, that could be a basket with some like, Spanish traditional foods. But that could be really anything. One really great thing that I've heard from our clients is what they do is that whenever the guest goes to the apartment, they are leaving this like soft jazz music on. I found that personally great, because when this is happening, if any of you like traveling to these like really 5 stars resorts, it's like really luxury places. Whenever when you are like checking into those apartments, like this soft music is being played there. So like those small details, they really matter. They really matter, and the guests will remember that, and the guests will feel that. And like in the end, home is like such an intimate place, and you want to make sure that they feel it when they are on vacation with you. So I'm checking in here. Okay, well, what else we've got? Perfect. So with this, I am really wrapping up right now what I've been chatting with you. Here are a couple of like quotes from the Breezeway user, but I am really open to see if there are any like questions in the meantime that I am still on. And for all of you, I wanted to let you know that right now we have the special promotion for all of the Lodgify users. So really, if you sign up by April 18, you will be getting 30 days free and 50% off of the implementation. So if this is anything that you want to discover better, we would be tailoring, of course, the demo to see like your needs, and we would be chatting. You are more than welcome to chat with our sales team about that. And the promotion is a great moment for you to set up everything before the busy season starts.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, Aga. That was a lot of notions that I hope that they will be useful. People that are watching right now, and they will watch also the recording in a second moment. If you Yes, I will take over right now the sharing of the screen. If you can stop sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And by the way, from now on, I will have expectations to have the soft music wherever I go in the next accommodations,
Love
because
it.
that's the only standard I want right now. All right. So, with all this said, let's see on how to connect Lodgify and Breezeway. And it's very simple in the end because, well, first of all, the information that will be shared between the two platforms will be the rentals and the reservations. So, as Aga was saying, we will have all the details about the reservations that will transition over to Breezeway, so that you can do the automation of the cleaning tasks with all in completion. And how do you do this? Well, it's very simple. You go to the main menu in Lodgify in Marketplace. We will find the card of Breezeway. And here, when you will click in the card, you will see an API key that you can copy, and then go in the Breezeway account that you will need to create. And then there you have in the settings here under integrations, as the screenshot underlines, you have Lodgify. So you will select it, paste the API key that you just retrieved, and then you'll be the system will import the rentals and reservations. And yeah, so it's very simple as you can see. All right. Now, yes, we arrived to the Q&A session. So if you have any questions for anything that Aga was talking about, some follow-up questions, some doubts, feel free to drop them in the comments, but also like about Logify, and we'll be happy to respond to them.
Yeah, Paul's throw us with questions. I'm gonna also share maybe the link from where you could. It's a
All right, let's see. All right. Okay. For Samira, let's see. It also depends on yes, the needs that everybody, of course, will have. If you have something that that you'll be interested, in on how to continue your experience and improve it, of course. In this case, feel free to drop a message at help@logify.com, so that we can review, your specific situation and help you best. You were saying, Aga, sorry?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in the chat a link from in case you wanna look at the demo, you can just go ahead and request a call with our sales team.
Nice, very nice. And especially in these last 9 days that there is the promotion, I think it's a great moment to do it.
Yeah, correct. And like probably a lot of you are setting up everything, and getting ready for the season, depending of course where you're based, but
Absolutely. All right, let's see. I'm seeing a couple of questions. All right. The guest messaging I see here. Yeah. If you want to explain a bit more about the guest messaging, Aga, in the Breezeway.
yeah, sure. So Emily, let me ask you, like, where are you based?
Hello, when it's a bit more a conversation.
So I'm gonna tell you. So like typically, internationally we are working with the WhatsApp messaging. So like if I always say that if you today communicate with your guests via WhatsApp, Breezeway will help you to automate those messages. So instead of you sending manually messages to your guests, you could be automating those messages on WhatsApp. We have a direct integration with WhatsApp. So like check-in reminders, checkout reminders, satisfaction messages. You could be uploading the welcome book to that automated message. But also, if you want to let your guests know whenever the apartment is clean and ready, that could be also sent as an automated message to the guest. So, long story short, if you're communicating with guests via WhatsApp manually, this is a good moment to automate those messages.
And just a quick note, Lodgify is obviously integrated with Breezeway through messaging as well. So Ideally, you just message through Breezeway, but it is connected through Lodgify. So any messages from your OTAs or anything will come through to Breezeway.
Perfect. And yeah, maybe I can see Costa Rica. So Costa Rica, that would be a perfect example of WhatsApp usage.
Perfect.
So yeah, we would be pretty much purchasing for you a new phone number, Hannah. Um, so this is similar to kind of like business account. It's not coming from Breezeway number at all. So this is a very actually common question, like, hey, are those messages sent by Breezeway? No, this is your company name, your company brand. We are just purchasing for you a new phone number.
Perfect. Let's see. This was the first one we had from Angel. Yeah, the only part that we left was for the price. I think this would be best to discuss with the demo call, no, Aga, so that we can tailor the needs specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, like every company will have different questions. So feel free to request some time with us and we can just deep dive into what you need.
All right. Let's see. All right. Yes, with the PM modules, the PM modules have different features in it. Some, of course, they are also related to the cleanings, but there are some the other topics, like for example, the accounting module. Or the analytics module. If you want to have specific information for this, feel free to call us. I'll be also personally happy to guide you in these to see if you need them or not, and to explain a bit more on the features. All right. We have one from Samir again. If we can communicate through WhatsApp, does that void the insurance of the booking platform?
I can answer that one. So, as you mentioned, Samira, through Airbnb, I would just recommend confirming that with Airbnb. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of bookings through Airbnb that guests communicate via SMS through WhatsApp, and I'm sure that if you're going to make a claim with Airbnb regarding insurance, they'll take that communication into consideration. But just double check with them. Like I said, there's quite a few bookings through Airbnb that often guests and hosts communicate outside of the platform.
Perfect. All right. Let's give it a few moments again to see if there are some other questions coming up. Okay. Well, we predicted 45 minutes. We are just on time, Emmet. Perfect. All right. Then, yes, if there are no other questions, I want to say again thank you to Aga and Matt for being here and share all this knowledge with us. If you have any doubts, any follow-up questions that will come, in a second moment, feel free to contact us at help@lodgify.com or also the Breezeway team, and we'll happy to clarify. And feel free to consider the promotion that we have for the next 9 days. And yeah, we will send again, as I was saying, the recording of this webinar tomorrow. So with an email and on our YouTube channel, so that you can have it for reference. If maybe in a second moment you will say, oh, maybe actually this can be a good addition to my business, and you have it always on YouTube. So yes, thank you again, and everyone, I wish you a good rest of your day.
Thank you. It was lovely catching up with you. Pleasure as always.
A
Thanks so much,
pleasure.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.